Hello, everybody. It's Christina Marie Weber, and I run a company called Christian Biz Owners on Fire. And we help faith-based entrepreneurs that have a more fulfilling and profitable business or ministry while keeping God, their relationships, and their purpose first on a daily basis. So today we're going to be talking about this is the live feed for my Christian Biz Owners on Fire business, and we're going to be talking about the idea of reading people well. So my dad was a licensed psychologist. He practiced clinical practice for over 40 years. And one of the things he told me, and I practiced alongside with him for a couple of decades as a licensed clinical marriage and family therapist. So one of the things he told me was, he told me a funny story about don't tell anybody in a social event you're a psychologist because they'll slither away or they'll find a reason to not talk to you. And of course, he was in a different era. Mental health had a different stigma at that time than it does so much now, or even mental health providers. But his point was people felt uncomfortable. They thought that he would like has x-ray vision and could see through them and see all their issues, is going to analyze them, whatever. And what I would say about that is, as a practicing clinician for 2 decades, there is some truth to that. It's not that we intentionally do that. It's like an occupational hazard. We just see things other people don't see because that's what we're taught to do. We're taught to assess everything so that we can help the people that we're working with. It's not that I go into a social event, with that intention or trying to intervene with somebody or whatever. But I do notice things. And what I found is, as a business consultant and coach, it is super helpful in my business because really it's not so much the what and how what you do, it's the who that really makes a difference of taking your business forward or dragging you back. So that could be who in terms of what clients you attract, what colleagues you're working with, vendors, team members, relationships in your personal life. If those things are on track, you are soaring. But if you have some of those areas that there's problematic, boy, it can really suck your energy, time, and pull you back. And in some cases, it can shut down your business. So that's what we're going to talk about today. I just did a blog on this. It's going to be coming out. So these are three areas of way, kind of way to start reading people better. The first is pay attention to nonverbals. 7% of what people communicate is verbal. 93% is nonverbal. So things that I pick up on are appropriate eye contact. Am I in a networking meeting and I'm talking to someone and they're looking around, when I'm talking to them, they're not really giving my full attention. That's a flag to me of someone that is not present, not particularly settled, distracted. It's really not someone I'm really motivated to pursue moving forward with. I mean, if they don't want to meet with me further, I'm not really that upset about it. So that's an example. Being present, looking at your phone. I mean, that's really so tacky. If you're in a setting, which people do this all the time, and there's people around and they have their nose in their phone, tacky. It sent to me, I mean, this is my judgment. It sends me the message that, you're really not that into people and what you're doing right now. And for some reason, whatever's on your phone is more important. And it's quite frankly a turnoff for me. Correct spacing, like if someone doesn't get kind of just social graces, like they're standing too close to you or too far, or they start stepping back, that's a real indicator they're not really that into you or what you're talking about. And that's okay. Business is about attracting the people you're well suited to work with. And it's also about, not attracting or repelling people that would not be good fits. So that's just as valuable as the ones that are. So if someone's walking back when you're talking to them, or they kind of turn their shoulder when you walk up, so there's not that space to even stand next to them or whatever, that's an indication, they're not that into you, and it's okay. Why, use your time with people who are receptive. The second area, so pay attention to nonverbals, look at context. This is the best example of this is, if in sales, if you say, I'm going to follow up at this time to do this, and the person agrees to that, and you follow up and they don't call you back and they don't return your messages or whatever, in business, it's not inappropriate to continue to reach out to them in an appropriate way until they either say, I'm not interested, or, I am, because that is appropriate. The other person is quite honestly being inappropriate by not giving you the courtesy of saying, hey, now's not a good time, or really not interested in working forward. It's really their issue, not yours. But being persistent, sometimes people are just busy. I mean, they really do want to work with you, or they really are interested in what you're doing, but they just have other priorities. And by you being persistent, a lot of times I've gotten business from that. Just having clarity and being persistent. That's really, persistence in that setting is really not seen as, you know, tacky or undesirable. It's seen as like you're on top of your business. Now, in your personal life, if someone's pursuing you and asking you to do things and you're, either saying no or you're just not answering, that's different. Like if you keep calling someone and they are not responding and they're not responding to your messages or whatever, again, it would be better if they just say, hey, I'm really not interested. But even in the personal life, if you're not picking up on that and kind of just backing off, it's kind of tacky for you. I mean, you can kind of seem stalking, like you're stalking someone, or you're not socially skilled if you don't like pick up on that non-clear, kind of those messages of, it's a nice way to say I'm really not interested. Now, I personally think it's better to be clear in your personal life, but I don't really say that right off the bat. I try to like give people a hint, and if they don't pick it up, then I'm pretty clear about what I'm what I'm not wanting or wanting. The last area is notice how your body feels. If spending time with someone makes you feel calm and peaceful, you're probably dealing with a congruent, respectful person. If being with someone makes you feel like you feel uncomfortable or nervous, that's not a good sign. In fact, I had kind of a mentor support person that when I was it was time to reach out to that person, I would just feel a bit of anxiety, dread, and that was a good indicator that that wasn't the best relationship. I ended up ending that. But what I realized is I felt kind of criticized by that person when they did give me feedback. It was a little bit harsh. And sometimes it wasn't even on the mark. And it made me feel uncomfortable. So again, pay attention to that. When I ended that particular arrangement, I just felt like I just had so much more energy. I hadn't realized what a drain it was. So again, pay attention to these things. So the idea, same things like with clients. Like if you have a client that you just don't look forward to spend, having that session with versus the opposite, that's something to pay attention to. In fact, that's why when I'm working with someone or, kind of courting someone as a client, I look at it as a two-way street. I want them to see if they feel comfortable around me, but I'm also checking if I feel comfortable around them, because I don't want to have clients that I just don't look forward to spending time with. And it doesn't do the best service anyway. So to conclude, surrounding yourself with people who have your back, you enjoy being around, and you're a good fit for in the role they provide in your business and life helps you soar. So I'm actually going to be doing a blog on this. If you'd like to get that, and I embed these videos in it, you want to get like the notes of what I just talked about, jump on christinamweber.com, and I will get that to you. I mean, you'll get on my list and kind of get updates on what I'm doing, and love to have you do that. So take care.